Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. As well as south side as the Cobalt Ice Kindle, we have LEVIATANxJVL, I think. Small north side is the even blacker hole Lash. We have H2EO, is that an I, capital I, lowercase l, or pipe 1. I don't know what symbol that is. By the way, let's get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. There are actually technically 2 airports. There is in fact a black boat sitting on top of the airport. I think I had my question answered this beforehand, but do black boats get the defense stars from the airport? My apologies, I need to adjust my microphone as well. But no, we got artillery piece there. There's also recon in the corner, provide a bit of scouting. But does the artillery get you protection from the airport there? I suppose one way to figure it out is I simply can go like this. Polygon like this, and then this. And then switch this, you see 38 to 44 to... So it does, wait. Yes. Number went up, so I was wondering what happened there. That's because number went down, not up. Sorry, my mind's a little bit melted right now. Both players do go for an early artillery piece to displace the black boat. You can always rotate it around to the recon afterwards. Got the recon pushed pretty far forward thanks to this lander here. Nice little boost. So now the recon does reconnoiter that infantry deck and start raiding around a little bit. Now got a tank deployed in the field. Looks like that black boat's down to 1 health, while this one up here is down to 6. Lash does not get it killed off with our +1 damage. Kindle could have destroyed it quicker if she took a shot from the base and base locked herself. And artillery does break through the black boat and allow the tank to advance its way forward. We've also got a tank here, which is reconnoitered by the recon. We also do have a recon over here as well, so I'm gonna flip the airport now, or capture it, not flip it. Tank, infantry, and mech deployed down south. Up here we do have the tank. Alright, so this valley is just a little bit inflated. We do have 2 landers on the field, so quite a bit of value on the field for both sides inherently, and not likely those landers will be going down anytime soon. Number C is being captured up by a Lash right now. Got tank, artillery, and infantry. Does interrupt the capture there. We'll stop the capture entirely, however, she will lose a tank. While Kindle does a plus 40% firepower when attacking from urbanized terrain, Lash gets plus 30% firepower. Oop! But there's the retaliation effect of Kindle. Managed to get a, on her own city there, get plus 40% firepower. And unlike Kindle, Lash can get plus 30% firepower from this missile silo platform. This turn, next turn, this tank will be up to full health. She'll probably take the shot, and then mid 3 off tank will put up a follow-up shot there. Infantry, artillery, and battlecopter. Does strike the recon there. You now have an urban blight available, medium tank deployed on the field. And she does go for a pretty early urban blight. She does spot the artillery and infantry there. She could assume there's a tank here, something a bit more valuable, but she will strike a battlecopter instead. She does not have an anti-air on the field, which Jen and I have been told you want to get an anti-air out no later than turn 10. So there will be a 9 health battlecopter flapping around. Looks like this infantry will be stopped, probably from the artillery, maybe with the help of the recon. And this 3 off tank does fall back to the HQ. Does take out the recon there. Oh, she has vision of that artillery there, so she normally entered this artillery medium tank into the range of artillery. That could... Okay, there's a tank there. I was wondering about that, but still, 4 health tank there could do a bit of damage. Probably a good idea to still take the shot. Battlecopter still out of vision range. Recon, infantry, T-copter, and anti-air. And the artillery does get 3 damage onto that medium tank, so overall did get a good shot there still. We'll take a shot there. Tank does a good hit, and this tank will get plus 30% firepower and does get destroyed. This tank here does have vision of this artillery piece, so still can finish off. The medium tank may take time to shoot this tank here, but we do have a rear artillery, an artillery in the auxiliary to protect the artillery. Drops the infantry off there on the column tower, trying to start securing it. There's the anti-air, and it is going to be a stealth deployment into the forest. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Lash almost has enough for a terrain or prime tactics. Double taps that infantry unit there. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, and infantry. Lots of captures there, so up to 24,000 versus 22,000 income. Recon gets a good strike there. Try and flip this property there. Medium tank is back on top of the city there. Recon does spot the battlecopter. Of course, nothing in range, going to be capturing it. And this infantry unit will get shelled by the artillery piece, likely. And Lash could pop a prime tactics this turn. Does spot the tank there, the medium tank. Couple good hits there. And near end of the turn, prime tactics. I thought she was going to try to pop it out sooner, but she does go for it now. Mech can basically one-shot this recon. Of course, we'll be in range artillery. So that prime tactics was not super great. Could have held off till maybe next turn. But she will at least have double defense for this turn. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and recon. Decent anti-air, and of course the battlecopter in this region. Battlecopter is simply out of range. You'll have to go through the land to get to it. We'll strike that infantry up north, and now she can start capturing it. 24,000 versus 23,000 income at the moment. This one property here, actually there's 2 properties that's still despicably neutral. Neo-tank infantry. I swear, the Noir Eclipse color scheme makes it hard for me to recognize some stuff. Recon does get a shot there. We do now have an Urban Blight deployed in the field. Could allow for excellent boosted damage from off this city and off this city here. That's really about it. Maybe possible good shot here. Infantry could take out this infantry, then the tank could get a booster strike off to that one. So will be shot by a nearby artillery piece. Does take out the battlecopter there. Rocket. Probably gonna be eyeing for one of these forests, maybe are beyond the river there. There's excellent boosted shot there. Managed to one-shot it. Hits the HQ unit. Does have vision this artillery just a little bit too late. Recon, rocket, and infantry. Medium tank does get struck there. Got an anti-air in the shadows. Does take out the capturing infantry unit there. Boost there from the lander. Anti-air will restrict the battle copter, so Kindle's taking quite a bit of losses this turn. They have roughly a turn-to-turn difference in value. Kindle's ever so slightly behind. Artillery gets a good shot there. Hits the infantry unit there. Takes their artillery. Anti-air takes out that unit there. Battlecopter will strike that tank there. And this artillery in the forest is ready to fire. Notice this anti-air may be able to destroy this battlecopter no problem as well. Goes from Urban Blight there. And I think this thing actually, yep, it has 4 health. I think I may interrupt some of the damage there. If you look in the bottom left, which... If you look in the bottom left, you can see it down there. Bomber deployed up by Kindle. I was not expecting that. Lash has 20,000 funds to the bank. Kindle has 157 versus 120, so she's about a turn and a half ahead than Lash. And there is the prime tactics. Mech does not finish off that tank. Booster strike down infantry. Will be gunned down there. Will be gunned down there. Takes out the battlecopter. Tank with a plus 80% firepower bonus. Does take some shots there against the medium tank there. Joins the regular tank there. Tank, recon, anti-air. Good damage there on the artillery. Medium tank falls back to the city. Rocket has fired, so it's getting some value out of it. And does surround the rocket. Another bomber, double bomber. She does have 25,000 income, so she can go for a neo tank or bomber every single turn. And right now, Lash is lacking proper amounts of anti-air. She has 2 on the field, but versus double bomber, a fighter's probably called for. Battlecopter, recon, tank, and infantry. She does pull back the anti-airs. Little should know that's actually pretty good for her. Tank, recon, infantry. Does get some good shots there. Starts capturing up the city. Battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. Rocket, nope, artillery takes out that one. Rocket takes the recon. Bomber is trying to keep its distance, trying to get a good strike. She does have the Neo tank spotted, so taking that out would be great. Pop an Urban Blight would be very good if you want to do some economic damage to your opponent, as it will blight that Neo tank. Neo-Tank Recon Infantry. Get some good shots there, takes out the Recon. Got a good number of tanks here, the 1's in range artillery, and battlecopter and tanks, so Kindle should be doing just fine down south of the current composition of the map. 2 battlecopters, which help easily overrun this single battlecopter. We have a full fighter, does spot both the bombers here if there's a recon. So going for a fighter is a good idea. Anti-air infantry recon does strike the recon there. Does have vision of the rocket as well. Does not interrupt the capture there. Neo-Tank is back, once again back on top of a city there, so can receive bonus stamp or urban blight. Neo-Tank may charge forward and hit that medium tank, but it will run into the rocket. Battlecopter, recon, infantry, and anti-air. Got a fighter deployed in the field for air supremacy. Infantry. Good shot there. Bomber rotates back around, splitting them up. Could make it a bit more vulnerable to various ATRs. Urban Blight was summoned. No Neo-Tank this time. Does hit a regular tank. Of course, the spawns back there. And this tank over here. So got a decent amount of Blight. This artillery as well. Missed the fighter though. Has 16,000 income. It does take out that tank there. Rocket's pretty exposed. If it gets spotted. Does get spotted there. Tank. 3 health tank will strike the rocket for a decent amount of damage. Medium tank being struck repeatedly. Battlecopter, infantry, and recon. Both players right now have 197,000, though Kindle is player 2, so she has about a turn ahead advantage. Let's strike that unit there. Recon there does take out the battlecopter. Medium tank will finish that one off. Bomber does strike the regular tank. The bomber will need a bit of a meat shield in front of it. It is vulnerable to anti-air at the moment. 2 anti-airs, has 2 areas where it can be hit. Looks like this bomber will be shot down. Battlecopter will strike battlecopter for another prime tactics. Fighter will take out the bomber, but is now in range of Kindle's fighter. Does get another good picks there. Does take out the medium tank. Does not strike the rocket just yet. And looks like rocket will be left alone. And turn 188 versus 169. ATR strike the battlecopter. Takes out the capturing infantry in there. Pops an urban blight. Does not have vision of this fighter at the moment, so push for the recon. Will spot it there. And of course does not have vision of the forest there, so only does not take a shot at the recon or the artillery piece. Neo-Tank recon infantry. Bomber will strike the anti-air, taking it out. So this anti, I believe, is in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another bunch of fighter can follow up. Strikes the rocket there. The rocket does go down. Hits the anti-air. Anti-air will strike bomber with the booster's damage there. Able to get a good shot. Doesn't have to worry about keeping the fighter alive since the bombers are down. Anti-air, infantry, and battlecopter. For some reason I thought that Neotank's gonna get trapped trying to be unloaded. The lander is actually down to 1% health, or 1 health. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. The fighter will fall back. Lander does go down, artillery takes out the infantry. Next strike there does finish off the battlecopter. Damage there onto the artillery. An Urban Blight could be very nice if she can get enough power charge to help deal with the battlecopter. Tank will strike for recon, does not get boost strike there. Does have vision of the Neotank now. Need to get another drink nearby. Urban Blight was summoned there. The battlecopter should be at 1% health. Great shot there in the Neotank. Takes on excuse me, sorry for that. It looks like Kindle is threatening the HQ. Good chance that Lash can easily interrupt it. She almost has another prime tactic as well. Give me one to grab a drink from nearby. My last one didn't have much fluid into it. And it looks like I have something. My throat's getting dried out. My apologies. I think she's trying to get the super power charged on up. That's an easy one. Right now, Kindle does have 146,000. Lash is 131. Not too far behind. Gets a booster strike there from Neotank. Does not finish off the battlecopter. Join captures on that despicable neutral property. Couple good hits there. Interrupts the capture even further. Kindle's Neotank is almost down. Infantry, tank, and anti-air. Kindle's turn. 120,000 versus 140 with their day-to-day income. They're even. So day-to-day differences. Does manage to machine gun down the tank. The Neotank does fall back. Relic tank gets finished off the Neotank. Good strike there in the recon. Takes out the capturing squad. Now Lander and T-Copter there is both running low on fuel. Got 21 fuel. Oh, and the T-Copter actually has 0 fuel remaining, so it will follow the sky next turn. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, recon. Another tank, another tank. And A-tier. Looks like Kindle's pulling back multiple units there. Neotank charges wave 4, does get in range of this regular artillery piece, which has 4 ammo remaining. We'll be taking out a battlecopter there. Neotank creeps his way forward. And this battlecopter is surrounded. Takes out the fighter there. This will donate a lot of energy to Kindle. Got some good hits there on that Neotank. The Neotank is taking quite a severe beating. Urban Blight has now been summoned. We'll soften up this tank here, among other things, like this capping infantry squad, which has 7 or 6 catch-up progress remaining, so it will not be a further interrupt. Does get fully stopped there. Does take a bit of damage there onto that artillery. The artillery taking quite a bit of damage. Lash is now enough for another prime tactic if she wants perfect movement. And the fighter back here did get urban blighted, but healed back up along that Neotank, so quite a bit of repairs there at 14,000. There was also a base skip last turn. Just staying out of range of these artillery pieces. Recon, T-copter, infantry. Oh, does get trapped down there. Infantry, and recon, and battlecopter. Day 30. Recon reconnoiters the area. Both players are still pretty even value, so neither side has a decisive advantage. Only small advantage that Kindle has at the moment is that she has 2,000 more income. A lot of stuff is getting picked off there in the flank. Artillery's in range of some stuff, however. Tank, infantry, anti-air. It's the anti-air there. Does not avoid that artillery who's in the forest. Does take out that battlecopter with booster strike, probably doing up to close to 150% damage. Neotank pushes way forward. Got another prime tactics available for Lash. Infantry, tank. Superpower activated. I blinked for a moment and I missed the pop-up. Neotank boosted Neotank, nearly one-shots the Neotank, even if it was at full health, it probably would have. Neotank infantry. Urban Blight has been summoned, which will strike the Neotank that freshly got exploded in the field. Hits an anti-air tank there, a number of stuff. Does spot that anti-air a little bit too late. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, and infantry. Next power is going to cost 70,000. Next superpower next power costs 72. Recon tank. I see a number of units parked on top structures, so just got an eye for Lord's runner repairs. Stops capture there, does spot the artillery. It's that capping squad. Does take out the ATR there. New tank strikes the artillery piece, but there's a Neo tank nearby which is out of vision range. Yeah, ATRs only have 2 vision range rather than 3. I don't know why I thought it had 3. Why my mind's a little bit melted. We've also got a nice little ambush here, got a tank in range of the tank. It looks not going to go well for Kindle next turn. Big hit there, does finish off the Neo tank there. This finds the artillery as well. Taking out a large amount of losses right now. Tank will strike the anti-air. This may be the point with the turn that Lash may actually won the game based on the amount of good engagement she had so far. At 160,000 versus 122. Bomber now deployed on southern part of the southern airport. Takes on a number of units there. Lash's turn, 146 versus 144, so they are even at the moment when it comes to value. Does get a great strike there on that battlecopter, but their ATR is in range of the artillery piece, so is that Neo tank, but the artillery does get hit by a regular tank. Tank, recon, and anti-air. Bomber does find the Neo tank and pops Urban Blight, interrupts the capture here in the center, among other things. Does get trapped there, and does get a booster strike on that artillery piece, and will take it out. Booster strike onto the recon regular tank. Artillery does get a strike there, and will perhaps finish off the battlecopter, or at least get it good enough. Surrounds that infantry and trying to keep the Neo tank away from other units. The bomber is potentially in range of a anti-air, but we'll have to go through one of those units. Something just exploded there. Was that the black boat still alive that went down there? Or lander? Fighter does one head and strike the bomber there, taking half its health out. ATR knocks out the battlecopter. ATR takes out the bomber. Big losses here by Kindle. Kindle's now below 100,000 value in the field. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Kindle's making some small victories. Tank, artillery. It's that infantry unit there. Neo tank gets good boost strike onto the anti-air. Battlecopter, recon, infantry, artillery. Decopter gets put on the airport, 15 fuel remaining. Artillery, anti-air, tank. Up north, there's not a whole lot for both sides. Kindle's Neo tank does fall back direction, but right now Lash has a pretty good force center. Another Urban Blight could be popped this turn. trying to shift down south. Kindle does have some units down there, and the fighter does manage to make back to airport. And this time Lash does go for a rocket. Infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. T-copter is not unload just yet. Does unload there. Rocket does advance to the forest. It does get trapped there. Anti-air artillery. Interrupts that captured there. Right now, Kindle still has the income advantage. The big difference is the flip city in the center. Takes all that recon up north. Neotank up north is almost fully, or is fully repaired. And Kindle's now trying to capture some properties. Does hit the infantry down south. Looks like Lash is going to try to flip that southern property. We do have a bomber on the field now, as was another pair of infantry, a trio of... Oh, it was basically so just a pair of infantry. Excuse me. Strike that unit there, and trying to flip another property. This property that Kindle's trying to flip has... It started at 9 health, so won't be captured till next turn. Neotank infantry. Takes up recon. Takes up the tank there. Anti-air takes up battlecopter. It does pop the urban blight there, which will wound this infantry unit there, causing it to delay and capture. Good shot there. Does take the battlecopter. It takes out the infantry unit there with the infantry unit. Take 4 turns for that 6 infantry unit to capture it. This battlecopter should be able to get 1 shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, out of range of that other battlecopter. Good damage over there. Will interrupt the capture, but booster strike there wouldn't be half bad. Artillery straightforward. Kindle feels like she's losing both fronts right now, and Lash right now has 208 versus 157. And he will strike the battlecopter. Artillery strikes the recon, and recon takes out the unit. Neotank, good strike there. Does hit the artillery there to save his Neotank some pain, though will be losing the battlecopter to the nearby anti-air. Though it does get a good shot onto that anti-air. Battlecopter, anti-air, recon. Good shot there onto the artillery. Down to 1 health. Anti-air. Infantry and artillery. Battlecopter will finish off the battlecopter. The artillery may just try to stick to cities. Yep. And didn't merge their 2 artillery pieces together. And right now there's nothing to stop these battlecopters north. Needs another anti-air. Maybe the battlecopter could be useful for that as well. And over the right side there's still rocket and good now supporting units there. That 7 health fire that's been staying alive the entire game can be brought in to take on that bomber, as well as the other battle copters. Oh. I can't move any turns, so I think maybe Kindle may have resigned this turn. That is the last turn. Give me a refresh. I need to look up the game, good old-fashioned way. And how to look up the game directly. The game's completed, but it looks like nobody won? Am I misreading that? Not sure how it looks on your guys' screen, based on how I have everything here, but it says game complete, but doesn't say who actually won the game. I'm guessing Kindle did resign. If I click on this one here, you can see nothing saying anybody lost. The game just simply ended. I think they may have called it a draw. Huh. Oh, either way, this Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. My apologies.